Jim Jack, what's the word of the day?
Glorious. I think the word of the day is glorious.
Me.
Word of the day for sure.
Tell me why.
We couldn't ask for anything better. We've waited 4 days for the best weather we could have possible to pull off an event on a face like Mac Daddy, and you know, we've been blessed. We're cold. But
how cold is it?
Sunny. They were saying it's going to be about 18, minus 18 today.
What do you think?
I don't know, it sounds like zero, right? Is that about zero?
Je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas. Cold. And, but it couldn't be better for the competitors. They had a chance to look at it yesterday, and the weather was a little bit rough. So this morning, I mean, it's just more reconfirming for the athletes to really get a good look at it in the sun. Things look a little different. We got some skiers on there right now, kind of giving us some scale, and that's really helping a lot. They also just threw a couple of charges out there, produced a little bit of slough, but things look pretty solid. Everybody's feeling pretty confident about it. And from what we're going to see here, I think the show's going to go off. I think this is going to probably be one of the best events we've ever been able to put on. Yeah, Mac Daddy face, first time ever.
So, I'll tell you what my big question is of the day, and that is, how will slough management style play in, because the people who go first should be rewarded more because they're better at slough management than the people behind them. So I think that's a style issue, and I was curious if the judges have talked about how they're going to incorporate slough management into a style score.
Right. Well, let's talk about slough management. I think we all know that that's a highly technical and calculated ability that skiers need to have. On this mountain, the first couple skiers, it's going to be a lot of things moving. I think that's really going to show optimum technique, and in a way, you know, there's a style to really, you know, anticipating your slough speed, knowing when to shut her down a little bit and when to let her roll. So we're going to be looking at stuff like that. I mean, this is a big mountain. It's going to require big mountain technique. Really no room or margin of any kind for error today. It's going to come down to the most calculated skier today.
Calculation.
Yeah.
Calculated risk.
Calculated risk. You know, it really is. I mean, some lines, they're not so difficult once you get into them, but there's a high level of risk and, you know, calculated risk management. I think they really
Tell me
need to
about the
express
hardest
that.
line on that face. No, that's the wrong question. Tell me about the highest line score on that face.
Well, I don't know if we can really say that. The boldest line right now, you can tell is kind of in the looker's left region. I mean, it's kind of obvious in the game that we play that exposure, technical, is going to be, you know, a bold line. Depending on how they exit and how they really handle every aspect of that line, could increase their difficulty even. So, but that is the most technical committing area, we feel.
Cool. So highest line score goes to boldest line?
In a way, you know, we judge on difficulty of lines, you know, in this event. So we're looking for what's more difficult compared to others.
Okay.
And then we have to judge it on how well they skied at that technical line for it. So control is paramount in there, and there's no room to really turn up the speed. It's like they really got to kind of think about it, and sometimes, you know, smooth is fast. Smooth and technical can be fast, but fast does not always mean smooth and technical. So we want to see that calculated thought.
Okay, one last question for you.
Sorry about my radio. Yeah.
I see two very distinct zones that would, where was that? Oh, yes. Look up. Duck.
Yeah, I'm down. Looker's right there, right down the duck.
That's not a write-off. That's just the top.
It's the top layer.
Yeah, it's
still good, eh?
That's a good sign.
That's kind of the stuff we want to get.
That is exactly what you want to see.
Yep. So what was the word of the day, Timmy? Glorious.